Hey, good morning, sir. We are here at Science Central, and once again, Martin Fisher joins me. We're in a new spot. We're in the Science on a Sphere, right?
Sphere, yeah.
Which is, I guess, it's a new spot for us, but it's been around for a few years now. Let's talk a little bit about what this room's all about.
Sure. This is our big capital campaign that we opened up about 2 to 3 years ago. It's called Science on a Sphere, and you can see science on this giant 6-foot globe behind me. It looks like it's the planet Earth floating in the middle of the room, but it is not. It's not a hologram, definitely not magic. This is all science. What you're looking at is a movie screen. It's a 6-foot hollow polycarbon sphere suspended by 3 guide wires up above. Now, I've got the lights faded right now, so you can't see the wires that are up there. And then in this room, there are a total of 4 projectors, 2 on the wall over there, 2 on the wall over there, and they shine a quarter of the imagery onto the sphere.
What's cool about it, I mean, you're sitting here and you're looking, and you don't really notice everything that goes around to set it up. It looks like it's floating right there.
And one of the cool things that we did was we wanted people to understand the science and the technology behind this. So the computer room that so many museums that have this exhibit, they stick in a back corner, we actually have it right over your left shoulder.
So everybody can kind of see it.
So you have to imagine that there's a stack of computers inside of a great glass booth. And then we have interpretive signs to be able to explain to people the technology. This exhibit was invented by NOAA. No, not the guy with the long beard, but NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. Your meteorologists know about that because the National Weather Service is a department within NOAA. NOAA is kind of like the Earth equivalent of NASA. What NASA does for space, NOAA does for atmospheres, climate, and ocean sciences. Now, they invented this exhibit as a way to understand the Earth, and it was a model. And it turned out to be a really cool Science Center exhibit. So watch this.
People get real involved in science there.
I'm going to try it. Yeah, I'm putting it in motion. And the amazing thing is, you notice that I'm holding an iPad with all sorts of images. It allows me to have total control over the computer system and those 4 projectors. So here, using your free hand, slide your finger back and forth along that arrow. And if you look behind us, you can see that the orientation of the Earth is changing. And if you go up and down, the exact same thing. Now, you'll notice the screen is not moving. All we're doing is changing the imagery. We're changing how the movie projection is being seen on the screen behind us. So when you put all this together, you end up with a really cool exhibit. Other things we can show are, right now I'm connecting to a very famous hurricane. Back in 2005, Hurricane Katrina formed in the Atlantic Ocean. And I'll spin it around and drop it down so we can see it just a little bit better. I'm not sure what's visible on the, trying to look on the screen.
Yeah, let me zoom in here. If you can hang on to this and talk a little bit.
I'll certainly do that, yeah. So what I'm going to do is pause it for just a moment until you're back there. And if you take a look, there's a round circle up there, which is Hurricane Katrina. It started off as a tropical depression, then a tropical storm, then a tropical hurricane. And the amazing thing about this imagery is that we have total control. I can speed it up. I can slow it down. So let's go back to, if I can time it just right. There we go. I'm going to put it in motion. Hurricane Katrina made first landfall over Florida and then went into the Gulf of Mexico. I'll pause it. All of that warm water from the Gulf of Mexico gave Hurricane Katrina energy, expanded in size. You can see a distinct eye in the center. Put it back in motion, hits New Orleans, pause it for a moment, and here's the part that I always think is so cool. Everyone always thinks about weather events and natural science events as happening. Oh, it was over there. Not here, there. Take a look at that imagery. That storm covered about 1/3 of the United States, including sending rainfall right here in Indiana.
And this sphere kind of gives you that perception of being able to see that compared to the rest of the globe as well. When is this open all the time when you guys are open, or when can people see this open?
That's a great question. All the time that we're open, for example, today from 12 to 5, we always have the room open, and then at certain times of the day, we have our educators come in, and they do live programs. So you can see it with an educator or without. There are hundreds of images that we can show on this. For example, I can connect live time to the National Weather Service satellites. I can see every storm as it's happening on the planet. I can connect live time to the U.S. Geological Survey and show every single real earthquake on the planet Earth as it's happening, I can connect live time to a NASA satellite and look at the sun live time. Isn't this amazing stuff?
It gives you a view and perspective that you can't get anywhere else, right?
It's only right here in Science Central, yeah.
For those hours and all that contact information that you might need, head over to Wayne.com. That way you can kind of plan your visit and make the most of your day here. Thanks so much for joining us this morning on Science Sunday.
Hey, my pleasure. I guess in a few weeks I'll be back in the studio. I'll see if I can load this into my car.
Love to see that.